Thank you so much for joining us on At Issue. My name is H. Wayne Wilson, and for the next half hour, we're going to be talking about education, but not the education you usually envision. We are familiar with public schools and private schools. They provide education to the bulk of our students in Illinois, but there are some students who just need a little extra boost, and we're going to talk about 3 different programs in the state of Illinois and in Peoria County, and we're going to learn about choices in education, and to help us with that conversation is Cindy Hamlin. Cindy is the director of the Illinois Virtual School, and it's what it sounds like, right?
It's an actual virtual school. Kids can take courses online 24/7, and we have a teacher facilitating those courses.
But there's no walls.
But there's no walls, no.
Okay, we'll talk more about that in just a
Okay.
moment, but let me introduce to you Paul Segoviano. Paul is the Director of Development for the Stay 4 project, and we're going to talk about, Stay 4 means exactly what it sounds
Stay
like.
4 years in high school.
Stay 4 years in high school. And also joining us, Randy Stevie is here. Randy is the administrator for something that's called the Peoria Regional Learning Center. It is a high school in essence,
Correct.
but Learning Center better represents the learning environment that's there because it's where.
We're located at Wildlife Prairie State Park.
And I wish I could be in high school at Wildlife Prairie State Park. That would be nice. But before we get there, let's talk about all 3 of your organizations provide basically that extra assistance that some students need. Is there a brief way of describing that need for students?
I would say we would fit the need in a wide spectrum of students that might need that opportunity, from students that want to take higher end courses that maybe their small rural school just isn't able to offer, and also credit recovery options for the student that's got behind, failed some courses, an opportunity to get caught up and get back on track.
And for you, it's at-risk students, basically.
The statistics in the state of Illinois, on an average basis, 72,000 kids drop out of high school every year in the state of Illinois. Across America, it's almost 1 million. What we do is have the schools select these kids who are about to drop out of high school for one reason or another. We pick them up and give them an opportunity to finish high school, get them in a trade school, community college, 4-year university. Then we will give them support grant to help them over the hump in that first year. And it's amazing what they run into.
We'll talk a little bit about how that works, but I want to turn to Randy first. And your students, I don't like the word alternative school because everybody says those are bad kids.
Right.
What kind of children do you have at the Regional Learning Center?
Primarily, our students are students that, for whatever reason, had given up on high school. Some of them felt bullied, some of them didn't like, they call it the drama. Some have some social phobias, but they're just really a bunch of good students, good kids that after a while they didn't fit in. They just didn't feel like they fit in, and it manifested itself primarily and they quit going to school. And so eventually their attendance is off, their grades are off, and they're starting to either drop out or become a dropout.
When we talk about dropouts, your kids are at risk. They also are on the federal poverty, the hot lunch program,
Yes,
we call it sometimes.
they have to qualify for that.
Okay, so
And that's what designates them as low income. But, you know, one of the unique things we do also is we partner with ISAC, and that's the Illinois Student Assistance Corps. And, you know, they come in and they have the names of all of our kids. We provide them with that grant money if they complete high school and then enroll in the trade school, community college, 4-year university. But while they're in high school, and that's one of the criteria, is they have to meet with their ISAC representative, their junior and senior years. These are young college graduates who come in and they'll find money, they'll find scholarship for these kids. And it's amazing what they can do for these kids. So plus the grant that we give these kids upon graduation, ISAC comes in, and I could list a number of schools. We got kids at Arizona State, as I said earlier. We got kids at Harvard. We got them at Illinois State. And speaking of Illinois State, Dr. Bowman started this program, a student selected for success. He brings all these kids in from across the state once a year and shows them what college life can be like, what it is like. And then any of the kids in the State 4 project enrolled at Illinois State University, he will give them $500 a semester for books. That's a tremendous plus. Dr. Deese now has succeeded Dr. Bowman Ellis, and he's carrying on the program, continuing it.
Those two individuals you refer to are the past and the present presidents of
Yes.
Illinois State University. So these are juniors and seniors. How do you identify them? What school districts are they in?
There are several school districts throughout the state of Illinois. We do not select the kids, as we just said a moment ago. They have to qualify the free and subsidized lunch program. The schools know those kids that are about ready to drop out of high school for one reason or another. They select the kids, and then they turn their names over to us. My associate Liz and I, we go in and we meet with these kids in the school, and we give them the criteria that they must fulfill. And one of them is, they got to meet with their counselor twice a year. They got to be involved in an extracurricular activity. They got to do community service hours. They got to maintain a certain grade point average. And the reason for the extracurricular activity and the community service hours is to get these kids out of their core group. And they all have core groups. Get them out of that core group, get them out in the community, get them involved with other kids in school. It's amazing. We had one young man turn to a young lady and said, until I got in this program, I never talked to her. Now he said, we talk to each other. I mean, it opens up a whole line of communication for these kids because someone really cares. Most of them come from a lot of broken homes, single parent families, and we tell them, we're just in there to put a soft hand on your back. If you do this, we can help you. And one thing we tell these students is, the most important person you'll ever meet in your life is the teacher that stands before you in the classroom. That teacher is there to provide you with an opportunity for an education and a future. You just have to take advantage of the opportunity that's there.
The reference earlier to his associate Liz is Liz Skinner. Some of you, she works alongside Paul, but some of you in southern Tazewell County may know her as the mayor of Delavan. And Paul mentioned the most important person in your life to many students is the teacher standing in front of them. Well, the teacher today doesn't necessarily stand in front of them in person.
But they still build a great relationship. As I've been in this since 2009, working in the virtual school, and that was one of my biggest ahas, is the communication that teacher has with that local student. It really builds a strong support system for that student. So I think that's a lot of times what's thought of as online learning, impersonal, by myself, and it's far from it. They really do build within the course that community with the students and that relationship with the teacher, because that teacher is working one-on-one with that student.
And these are students in what schools?
They're from all over the state. We cover about 350 schools from the Chicago region down to Egyptian in southern Illinois. And we'll have one or two students from a school, and it's based on the need of the student. So we see ourselves right in partnership with that school. Student needs a course, as I said earlier, to get ahead or to take an enrichment course, or it's just a course not offered. We have 6 world languages available in our course catalog, and many schools are just able to offer Spanish. So if a student is interested in Chinese or Latin, that's then an option that they can consider, they being the school, to partner with us and let us provide that course for the student.
And you have an actual course catalog.
We do. We have 144 semester-length courses.
And these students don't leave their home school. With the Stay 4 project, they're with their home school.
Yes.
And the students stay with their home school.
In most cases, that's correct. In most of our implementations, this would be a student taking a course in the computer lab or study hall time, before school or after school, but in most cases there is a mentor or a local person supervising those students while they're taking the course. We have one implementation here in Peoria County where students are all scheduled in a computer lab at one time taking different courses. Someone may be taking creative writing, another may be taking German, and they're all supervised by the same teacher.
Now, we talked about the students stay at the home school, the school of origin, if I may use the term, with Stay 4 project, with virtual school, but at Peoria Regional Learning Center, no longer are they, I shouldn't say they're not at their home school, but they don't attend their home school, yet they're still attached.
Right. Yeah, they physically come to Wilder Prairie Park during the school year. We have an 8-period day or 7-period day, and just a full gamut of classes, but they are still attached to their school of origin, whichever high school, and they have to be referred to us from their school of origin. So they just can't enroll right off the street. But the counselors in Peoria County know our program. They do a great job of kind of figuring out which students will work well. And so they refer them. They go through an interview process, the students and their parent. And if everything matches up, then they physically attend it. And as I listen, the one thing I've got to say too is, because I think we're all careful too to, the high schools, in our case, high schools in Peoria County, they're doing a great job. They offer so many things for so many kids. And there's advantages and disadvantages. We can take walks in the park. We can do some interdisciplinary projects with the park staff and stuff like that. But we don't have football. We don't have extracurriculars. We don't have drama. So there's trade-offs. But I think what we're finding out is, we need to find all these options, and that's probably really what we're talking about with the program, and find something that will fit for each kid, because we can't keep having one kid drop out every 26 seconds in this country and not get a high school diploma. I mean, the economic impact on that person for the rest of their life, the impact on taxpayers for the extra amount of government assistance they'll probably receive over their life is unbelievable. And anything we can do to shortcut that or circumvent that, I think we're going to be better off.
Randy, you bring up a very interesting topic right there, because last year we were very successful in graduating 97% of our kids in this program. But and as we talked earlier, what makes our program so unique, we do not receive one penny of state funding. We generate the money ourselves for the program. In fact, we could have, one of our biggest downfalls is these kids are in the program, they want to know how their buddies can get in the program, how can their sister get in the program. Well, it's all based on funding, and we go out and we make every effort to secure the funding for the kids that are in the program now. We have to tell other kids, when funding becomes available. We worked with a state representative a couple of years ago, and we mapped out 100 positions, because she was applying for a grant that would come in and help put kids in her district up there. Unfortunately, she was defeated in her re-election bid, and we lost out on the grant. But there was 100 kids already programmed up north to come into this program. And it's all based on funding. I wish we had the state funding that you two receive, but we do not go past Route 80. We intentionally will cover as much as state of Illinois. We will not go up in the Chicago area. I think they have a dropout rate of from 40 to 60% of students in that high school area, and it's astronomical up there.
But for clarification, you do go to Rockford, though?
Yes,
Okay.
we do.
So what districts are you in?
We're in the Rockford School District, the Peoria School District, Decatur School District, Champaign, Urbana, and Bloomington Normal, and the alternative school.
Okay. And you talked about money. The reason money is so important is you actually provide a grant for these children. What kind of school do they go to? How do they qualify for the grant?
Well, they have to complete the criteria that we establish for them. And once they complete the criteria, and we also have a counselor checklist. The counselor has to go in and make sure these kids fulfill every one of those criteria. Once we get that counselor's checklist, then we know that the kids have completed the criteria and they become eligible. Once we get their enrollment in a college, university, or a trade school, we get their ID number, then we will award the grant to those students. It's amazing what these kids run into, whether it's a lab fee that's unanticipated or it's holding their spot in the dorm. We have a young lady at Eastern Illinois who is in the ROTC, and she needed some athletic shoes because of the workout. She used her grant money to buy athletic shoes and clothing, and basically, she was a throwaway kid, but she's down there getting an education in ROTC and doing extremely well.
And over at the virtual school, how do you monitor success?
We actually have an average of 92% completion rate. And what that means are students that stay in the course. We have a 2-week grace period in which they can drop, and there's no enrollment fee with that. But 92% of our students are successful, receiving a 60% in the course or higher, so a D or higher in the course.
And you talk about the fee. You've mentioned that you're privately funded
Yes.
and you provide a grant to these students. So
Yeah.
there's no money, I mean, you're not getting any money from the school district.
No.
Okay.
And the point is, that grant money is set in a separate bank account for these kids. Every kid in the program, money is set aside in a separate bank. It's not commingled with the operations of the foundation at all.
Okay. Now, you receive state funding, and then, but there's a fee?
But
and
there's an enrollment fee. So the state funding helps offset the costs of our program, but we do also charge a per enrollment fee, one fee for full service courses, so that's with a teacher the entire semester. So we do have the cost of paying the teacher. And then we have a credit recovery program, which is a shorter program built for those students that failed the first time. It's an opportunity to regain that credit. They just have to master the skills they didn't achieve the first time.
And for you, Randy, you actually receive money from the state
Right.
and private money.
Right. Probably 80+% of our funding is general state aid, which is based on attendance of the previous year, so it comes the next year. And then we share a truancy and optional educational programming grant called a TAOP grant, which is a state grant, and we share it with Project Target, which is also operated out of the Peoria County Regional Office of Education. And that is truancy prevention. And that program is headed by Oliver Mack, and he is out in the community, I think working with 300, 400, 500 children a year, trying to cut down on the truancy rate, get those kids in school, and we share a little bit of that grant with him. And then we have a textbook fee, and we've also got a foundation now that we've started. It's in its infancy, but we're trying to raise some soft dollars, and then also we apply for grants whenever we can and see if we can't secure some grant money, whether it's state or federal or whatever.
And you provide services to students who are enrolled in the 13 Peoria County
Right.
public high schools.
Right.
You're restricted to the borders of the state of Illinois.
Correct.
So you're, in how many schools did you say you were in?
About 350
350?
schools,
And how many students?
about 3,500.
Really? And that's operated out of the Peoria County?
The Peoria County Regional Office of Education has that contract with the State Board of Education. So we like to say that we are the state's program for online courses.
And you've already identified about a half dozen different school districts. How do you go about deciding, what if a school district said, gee, I saw the program, Paul, I'd like to find out more about it and maybe get a relationship going?
Put something in my hand. It's all based on funding. We do, as I said a moment ago, we get a lot of requests. In fact, I could go back to Dr. Niehaus at Unit 5, and we wanted to do something special for these kids, and we was going to have a dinner when we first initiated the program. He said, don't do that, Paul, not these kids. He said, have a pizza party for them. That's what they relate to. He said, the kind of kids you're working with, they don't come from that upper crust. He said, they need the help, but you need to be on their level and bring them up. And that's what we try to do, And so when it comes to additional kids in the program, my wife said to me, how do you do that? And I said, not a problem. I just put out my hand and say, put something in it so I can help another kid. It's that easy.
Let me turn to Cindy Hamlin and talk about the act that created this and the remote education possibilities. What's the origin of the program?
Remote education actually was adopted in '09 and then updated in 2011. And it's just another option districts have available to find an alternative or a solution for kids that need something besides just the face-to-face school. Remote ed allows a board and district to establish a remote plan for a student. The student would attend, remain in attendance at the school, but take all of their courses remotely, possibly online. The school continues to get the general state aid for that student, but it's just that for that unique student that has a 504 plan, has illnesses or any reasons that they can't attend the face-to-face school. So that Remote Ed Acts puts together the framework to allow a district to put that into play for
So
a student.
that was the 2011 amendment that because before that they had to be physically attending the
And
school.
and the time had to be during the school day. So right now with the 2011 change, learning can happen 24/7, and the school can still count that as attendance in this remote plan.
And for Stay 4 project, Paul, you started when?
We started in 2008 with the program for the State 4 project.
And that really didn't depend on any state legislation or anything. You were allowed to do this.
We put the program together. We fully fund the program, but you know, and as I said a moment ago, we certainly would like to have more kids in there. You know, we're always searching for grant money, always looking for private donations, and as the money comes in, we'll continue. We know we're only a drop in the bucket at this moment. With additional help, we'll fill the bucket.
All right, and then for you actually, the Regional Learning Center spun out of an old program at Illinois Central College.
Correct. They had something they called the Academy at ICC, and it had been in existence over 20 years. And 4 years ago, that partnership ended. The Academy at that time was serving high school students from Tazewell, Woodford, and Peoria County. And so when they decided to kind of break ties, Dr. Jerry Brookhart, who was then the regional superintendent, and actually a gentleman by the name of Jim Bixby, who was out at the program, just decided that the Peoria County kids weren't going to fall through the cracks. And so between the two of them, and they brought me and several others on board, we were able to get our school going, and we're in our 4th year of operation. And in the first 3 years, we have found a path for almost 70 students to receive a high school diploma. And in our case, the diploma they receive is issued by their home high school. We put together a plan of study with whichever Peoria County school they come from, and once they complete the requirements of our program, we have the ceremony, but whatever school they came from originally, that's the diploma that they get.
So in all 3 programs' cases, you get the diploma from the school of origin.
Yes.
That's correct.
Now, how do we, and you mentioned a rate, you were successful in a certain percentage of time.
97% we graduated.
So is that, are there other ways of knowing how successful this program is?
Well, we have a list of all the colleges that our kids are attending, and I think we right now have them in the neighborhood of about 32, 33 colleges and universities that the kids are attending or have graduated from. We get, you know, University of Chicago, as I said a moment ago, Arizona, Illinois State, Eastern Illinois. We have a young lady on a full scholarship at Northern Illinois. These kids are all over in Texas A&M.
So you track them when they...
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and they can go to a community college
Yes.
or a trade school?
Yes. Even the service, if they choose to go into the service and there's needs, you know, and we will award their grant based on their needs. And it may be clothing, it may be whatever they need. But even if they go in the military, we will award them a grant to help them over the hump.
And at the Illinois Virtual School, you have, I mean, they're all over the state of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
How do you measure success?
We variety of ways, but probably the key one that the state is interested in is completion rate. Those students that earn credit by taking our online courses, and we're, as I said earlier, at about an average of 92% of the students complete and are awarded credit.
And you know that at least for some of the students that's helping them make the hump towards graduation?
Absolutely, or get them back on track, or able to take that course to graduate.
Or in some students, they're actually taking AP courses.
Correct.
Success might be a little bit different in measurement at Regional Learning Center.
Well, yes and no. We're about the same percentage as the virtual school in that the students that finish each semester with us, the ones that come out there and get it and buy into it, we're achieving about a 92 or 93% rate of earning credit. That might be a D, but it's a passing grade. And we've just now started. We have a website. We have a teacher that's really technologically savvy, and she's put together a survey, and we're surveying our past grads, and we're starting to collect data about where they're at, what they're trying to accomplish.
And well, you mentioned websites. We have just a moment left. The website for you is
It's
stay4.org.
stay4.org, yeah.
And the 4 is a numeral.
Yes.
Stay4.org for you.
prhs.k12.il.us.
PRHS. Okay. And for you?
ilvirtual.org.
ilvirtual.org. Let me say thank you to Cindy Hamlin, who is the Director of Illinois Virtual School for the entire state of Illinois,
Thank you.
but based here in Peoria County. For Randy Stevie, you are the Administrator at the Peoria Regional Learning Center, which handles students from the 13 public high schools in Peoria County. And to Paul Secobiano, who is the Director of Development at the school. Now, you're based in Bloomington, is that right?
We're actually based in Normal.
I'm sorry, in Normal?
We're across the curve in Normal.
But you serve about half dozen school districts
Yes.
through the Stay4
Yes.
project. And we thank you for your viewing of this program, and we'd like you to view the next program here at Issue on Channel 47. We're going to be talking about the individuals who were impacted by the tornado. They have reason to give thanks. We're going to talk about that next time. Join us then.